Namaste. Good morning to all of you. Welcome to
Morning.
this webinar timed Technology, Finance and Policy Support for Coconut MSMEs, which is being jointly organized by the Agri-Business Incubation Center of ICR Central Plantation Crops Research Institute, Kasaragod, MSME Development Institute, Thrissur and Kerala Startup Mission. So we have officials from all these organizations to address the issues related to coconut MSMEs. So it is my pleasant duty to welcome all of you. Before that, to mention about our institute, as many of you know, it is a 105-year-old institution established in 1916 at the Kasaragod. Later in 1970, it was brought under Indian Council of Agriculture Research Institute. At present, we have the headquarters at Kasaragod, then two regional stations, one at Kayangulam and another at Vittal, Karnataka. Then we have three regional research centers, one at Kaikuchi, Assam, then Mohitnagar, West Bengal and Kidu, Karnataka. So today we have with us Dr. Anitha Karun, our director, to preside over this webinar, though she has one more meeting scheduled at 11 o'clock, but she has find enough time to attend this meeting also. And this webinar will be inaugurated by Sri M. Palanivel, Director MSME Development Institute, Thrissur. To the viewers, we have very good relationship with the MSME Development Institute, Thrissur. We had many programs conducted in the previous years also, maybe seminars or exhibitions like that. So I also express our sincere gratitude to MSME Development Institute for their all-water support to CPCRI. So sir, I welcome you to this webinar and request you to inaugurate this. Then our technical session will be conducted by Sri Martin P. Chaco, Assistant Director, MSME Development Institute, followed by a brief talk on financial aspects, credit aspects by Sri Kannan, LDM Lead District Manager, Kasaragod. Again, I should say both Martin and Kannan are very much associated with the CPCRI in many ways. So I welcome both of them to this meeting. And our another friend and colleague is Sri Said Sagwat, who is the business coordinator of Kerala Startup Mission. Probably he'll be joining us later. So I welcome him also. And I see in our Dr. Remini Gopal, former employee of Coconut Development Board and chairman of one of the leading coconut producer company. So it is an inspiration for all of us to interact with her and her presence in this meeting. Maybe many other known people also may be there in the as participants. I welcome all of you to this meeting webinar, and I request all the participants to interact with us, to associate with us in their future endeavors. Our email ID is given here, and we have a website www.cpcribiz.in or CPCRI website also you can see to know about our institute and agribusiness incubation activities. I'll be interacting with you later after the experts talk during the session on technology session. So right now I welcome all of you and leave to the President, Dr. Anitha Karun, to offer her presidential address. Over to Anitha Karun, madam.
Good morning, everybody. So once again, I welcome everyone to Kalpa webinar on technology, finance and policy support for coconut MSMEs. So as Murli has briefly mentioned about our CPCRI, it's a 104-year-old institute, and CPCRI is pioneer in many research activities, developing various technologies. We have more than 30 to 40 technologies are there, and our ICR has started commercialization technology the way back 2008. But agribusiness incubation started at CPCRI during 2013. and more than 200 firms are taken our technologies, these 30 technologies, and some of the important technologies, coconut-based technologies are VCOs, virgin coconut oil technology, Kalparasa chips, then vegan ice creams, and various inputs like vermicompost, then tissue culture of aracanut, etc. And we have around more than 225 MOUs are signed by the way of technology transfer to many firms. We are also collaborating with the Kerala startup to strengthen our incubation facilities. Today, as a part of our efforts to promote coconut enterprises, the Kalpa ABI, that is Agribusiness Incubation at CPCRA, is organizing different programs in association with other agencies. Today we have this webinar with MSME Development Institute and Startup Mission. So in the context of Atmanirbhar Bharat, everybody knows that the role of MSME is very crucial. We had several programs earlier in association with MSMEs. I am sure that today's lecture, which is delivering by Mr. Martin Chaco, Assistant Director MSME, it will be of much use to all the participants. I also welcome Mr. Palnivel, is a Director MSME Development Institute Thrissur, for agreeing for inauguration of this program. And I wish all the success to the program, and I request Sri Palnivel to inaugurate this program. Thank you.
I am very much delighted to participate in the seminar on technology, finance, policy support for coconut MSMEs organized by Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Kasaragod, supported by MSME DA Thrissur and Kerala Startup Mission. Once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and participants. The most respected Dr. Anitha Karun, Director ICAR Kasaragod, Dr. K. Muralidharan, Head of Department Social Science, ICAR Kasaragod, my colleague Mr. Martin P. Chaco, Assistant Director, Mr. Kannan Sir, Lead District Manager Kasaragod, Sri Syed Sawat, Business Development Coordinator, Kerala Startup Mission, Mr. Sasin Sakil, Business Manager, Agri-Business Incubator, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Kasaragod, the most respected dignitaries and invitees and participants. Very namaskar to all of you. Good morning to all of you. We know very well that Indian MSME sector plays a vital role in the growth of Indian economy. This sector is driven by local talent, skill, local resources, and environment, and climate, creativity, and innovation. Technology and innovation have had a great impact on development of enterprises in India. Enterprises development brought many things to our society, which made human life to live comfortably. The economical growth, increased productivity to meet demand of increasing population, peace, security, and social development of society is directly related to the development of technology-driven enterprises. In order to promote MSME sector and to be more innovative, efficient, and competitive, the Ministry of MSME, Government of India, has contemplated various schemes and policies. Among them, prominent are enactment of MSME Act 2006, Central Public Procurement Policy for MSCs, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, Credit Guarantee Trust fund for MSMEs, credit linked capital subsidy scheme, MSME cluster development program, procurement marketing support scheme. These are only very few schemes. As per MSME Act, this Act notifies policies and schemes for MSMEs development. One of the notification is classification of MSMEs, including manufacturing and service entities, based on the investment of plant and machineries and turnover. On 26th June 2020, this Act notifies for filing Udyam registration, which came effective from 1st July 2020. The registration form is available in the Udyam registration portal. Please note that registration is at free of cost. Another policy is Central Public Procurement Policy for MSMEs, micro small enterprises. Under the policy, ministries, Department of Government of India, central public sector undertaking are required to make a minimum of 25% of their annual purchase from MSMEs alone. Of this purchase, 4% is earmarked for procurement from MSMEs owned by weaker section, that is SC/ST entrepreneur, and 3% for women entrepreneur. There are many schemes for providing credit support. One among them is Prime Minister Employment Generation Program for starting new enterprises. It is a collateral-free loan. The maximum project cost for service sector is 10 lakh rupees and for manufacturing sector is 25 lakh rupees. The subsidy is available from 15 to 35%, depends upon the location of enterprises likely to start and the category, maybe category. The scheme is implemented through Khadi Village Industries Commission under Ministry of MSME, Government of India, and Khadi Village Industries Board and district centers under state government. Another credit support scheme is Credit Guarantee Trust Fund for MSMEs. This scheme is applicable for existing entrepreneur as well as new enterprises. The credit support is up to 2 crore rupees. It can be utilized for manufacturing, service sector and trade, retail trade also. The percentage of guarantee is about 50% of amount so sanctioned for a credit of about 50 lakhs with a maximum limit of 100 lakhs. The tenure of the guarantees is for 5 years. The extent of cover is up to 80% is for micro small enterprises which are operated and owned by women entrepreneurs. Another credit scheme is Mudra. Maximum loan amount can be availed under Mudra scheme is up to 10 lakh rupees. No collateral or security is required. Processing charge is nil. Repayment tenure is 5 years. All non-farming enterprises, small micro farms engaged in income generating activities can avail Mudra loan. This is for starting new enterprises. Another scheme, Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme. This is for existing enterprises. The support under the scheme with subsidy for purchase of plant and machineries for technology upgradation. The credit support from loan is from bank is about 1 crore rupees, in which 15% subsidy is available. The another scheme is for technology upgradation, Livelihood Business Incubator. A scheme, it is a scheme for promoting innovation, rural industries and entrepreneurship. The scheme is called Aspire scheme. Technical research institutes can avail the scheme for setting up of incubation center for marketing entrepreneurship ideas. The Government of India grant is, one-time grant is 100 lakh rupees for setting up of Incubation Center is a 100% one-time grant for the technical and research institute. Our Honorable Prime Minister's vision call for Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, that is self-reliant India movement, for which special package and comprehensive package of rupees 20 lakh crore, which is equal to 10% of India's GDP, is announced. This scheme is going to make our Indian economy very strong. The opportunities are very plenty for short enterprises. The agriculture sector is likely to undergo major revamp with the technology-driven green revolution. This webinar is going to give very good information, insight about government schemes, opportunities available to make aware of all prospective and existing entrepreneurs to come forward to avail the schemes for developing their own enterprises. Ultimately, the government, our country is going to develop economically very vibrant and strong among the global level. Wish you all the best. All the participants take advantages of this program. Once again, I thank you all for attending the program and inviting me to participate in the program. Wish you all the best. The program is inaugurated.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So now we will straight away go to technical session, sir.
Yes, sir.
I request our Mr. Martin P. Chacko, sir, to start his presentation. So sir can share his slide in this platform and then start the presentation. We are just making that arrangement, slide sharing.
No, sharing in enable.
Yes, just a sir, 1 second. Okay. Now you can share your screen, sir.
Okay. എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. Good morning.
Yes, yes.
Director Dr. Anitha Karun Madam, our MSME Director Sri Pandavil Sir, Dr. K. Muralidharan Sir, Mr. Sri N. Kannan from Mr. LDM Kasaragod, and Mr. Saeed Sawad, and all the participants.
Yeah, please.
Welcome once again to this forum.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We, in association with CPCRI and Startup India, as well as bank LDM of Kasaragod, we are organizing a webinar on technology, finance, and policy of Government of India to support MSME sector. So from this organization, I will be presenting mainly MSME policies and new schemes, especially Atmanirbhar Bharat, announced by our Honorable Prime Minister for energizing this sector. I think I will begin my presentation. So let me tell you to begin with, because there is a lot of changes happening nowadays among this sector. This definition has been changed, the registration process has been changed, and Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, that scheme, financial package, it has been declared in this. At this time, I would like to again remind you what is MSME. MSME, we call small scale industries in India as MSME. Globally, we call it is SME sector, small and medium, only small and medium division only in globally. But in India, we are having one more division that is called micro. So in India, we call small scale industry as MSMEs. And there is a new classification which has come into effect from 1st July 2020. Based on investment and turnover, there are two criteria. Earlier, there was a definition which was only based on investment. Only investment was considered. Now, from 1st of July 2020, the definition has been changed. So that is based on two criteria. One is investment, other is turnover. Two criteria will be taken into account. And based on this, our small scale industries are divided into micro, small and medium. So let us see what is this micro, small and medium. So this is what you can see in the presentation. You can see in the slide. This is the new definition. Micro means investment maximum 1 crore and turnover maximum 5 crore. This is called micro. Small means investment maximum 10 crore, minimum above 1 crore. And turnover maximum 50 crore, minimum above 5 crore. And for medium, maximum investment is 50 crore and maximum turnover is 250 crore. And minimum investment is above 10 crore and minimum turnover is above 50 crore. So what actually we see in this new classification, a large number of industries have been included for the benefit of micro, small and medium enterprises, policies of government of India. Earlier, the maximum investment allowed was 10 crore, maximum investment. Now it has been raised up to 50 crore. Almost all sector, including many of these government-owned enterprises also have been started registering under MSME sector. So the benefit will be enhanced. The range of beneficiaries are enhanced. So this is the merit, and there are lots of questions may come in this regard. You can post these questions in our chat box. We'll be able to address during interactions. So many questions, doubt may come, even now it is going on. Next. Now, based on this classification, a new registration system. Earlier, immediately before this registration, we were calling MSME as MSME registration or Udyog Aadhar. UAM, Udyog Aadhar Memorandum. That was the registration certificate earlier. Now from 1st July onwards, the name itself has been changed. It is called Udyam registration. For the purpose of registration, MSME means Udyam. Udyam means MSME. That is the relationship between MSME and Udyam. Now, mainly there are two slots. If you visit the portal, you can see two slots. One is for new entrepreneur to register. The next slot is those who are already registered. There are earlier registrations are there, Udyam Aadhar, Udyog Aadhar, as well as EM Part 2. Prior to that, the beginning, before Udyog Aadhar, there was EM Part 2. Before that, there was SSI registration. All these people are called already registered people. So there are two slots. One is for new registration, other is for already registered people can log in. So in short, everybody has to register in Udyam portal, new as well as old, before 31st of March 2021. Almost nearly 9 months are there. Every enterprise has to register. It is, again I repeat, this registration is not a mandatory thing. It is not mandatory, it's not compulsory. Then I said already it is called Udyam, and Udyam, the process is called Udyam registration with effect from 1st July 2020. And there is only one portal. It's very important to know there is only one portal called Udyam registration.gov.in. It's very important because there are so many fake registration sites are coming up. Why I'm telling this? This registration process is completely free. because there is going to be a lot of benefits out of this MSME registration, but still Government of India is giving free registration, and only this portal only you should visit, GOV. That is very important. And another thing, another specialty is this is a paperless, online, no need to upload any documents. It's only self-declaration. For the first time you register, only self-declaration, but it should be truthful. Then the site is owned by Ministry of MSME, Government of India, maintained by NIC. This is the only official portal. Once again, I repeat, no other private online offline system or agency are authorized to do any sort of registration and or undertake any activity related to this registration process, because many people are cheated. We used to get a lot of complaints. So beware of fake registration sites and projecting as MSME site, websites. The portal itself will guide any entrepreneur step by step as what to do, what they have to do in the registration process. Next step is who can register. Already I explained, new registration and re-registration. Re-registration is already they are having EM Part 2 or UAM, and this should be done before 31st March 2021. Existing registration is valid up to 31st March 2021. And in this regard, there are a lot of queries or complaints. You can always ask through, there is a portal, www.champions.gov.in. It's a redressal portal. There is likely to be so many questions, queries. These things you can post and get it, get the answer from the portal itself. Now let me tell you who are the authority of MSME. So people are, public in common in general are confused who is the authority. From central government, Government of India, Ministry of MSME, under whom, under the ministry, there is Development Commissioner MSME New Delhi. Development Commissioner MSME, actually it is headed by Additional Secretary to Government of India. He is a senior most IAS officer. He is the head of this department for MSME activities, policy making, and all other government related programs from Government of India. And there are state-wise, there are MSME Development Institute, and one such development institute is this for state of Kerala and Lakshadweep. And similarly, there are branch institutes. So this is the authority from central government. And there are so many developing agencies like MSME Testing Center, MSME Technology Development Centers, Technology Resource Center. For Kerala, there is a Technology Resource Center coming up at Ankamali at around 250 crores of rupees have been spent. It's about to open. And other agencies from center is KVIC, NSIC, it's a corporation giving funding, and SIDBI, it is exclusively for small scale industries. NABARD, of course. Then there is a regulatory agency, very important for food sectors, called FSSAI, Food Standard and Safety Standard Authority of India. It's a regulatory agency and it is autonomous, coming under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It's a purely autonomous and independent body under whom the state food safety commissioners are coming. Another one we can see Coir Board, Coconut Development Board, Rubber Board, Spices Board, Coffee Board, plenty of APEDA and EMBEDA. As well as these are all developing agencies. Then for technology related, CFTRI, Mysore, Central for Technological Research Institute, DFRL, Defense Research Laboratory, CPCRI, and CTCRA Trivandrum, CIFT, IISR, I mean Institute of Spices Research, Kerala Agricultural University, KVASU, and so many incubation centers. And state authorities, Kerala, Government of Kerala for the state of Kerala, and Ministry of Industries and Commerce. Directorate of Industries and Commerce in Trivandrum is the sole department for MSME sector for the state of Kerala, and under whom district industry center, every district wise 14 district industry center and taluk industry centers. This is the authority for the state government. And state developing agency, Food Safety Commissioner, of course, that is a regulatory agency, KVIB, KBIP, Kerala Bureau of Investments and Promotion, and KINFRA, SIDCO for finance, and KFC, KSIDC, KEED for Entrepreneurship Development Training Program, Cashew Corporation, and Coir Society Testing Laboratory. For information, this Cashew Corporation now it has been just recently has been registered as an MSME medium unit because it is coming under 50 crore investment. Now let's see what is the size of this MSME. All India level we have statistics says it is 633 lakhs MSME. That means 6.33 crore. For Kerala it is near to 24 lakhs. And another happy news is that almost 99% of this MSME sector is micro unit. Earlier definition only, that is statistics says below 25 lakhs investment only. Now the investment is raised to 1 crore. Now it will be, I think, almost 100, near to 100 will be MSME sector only. Then what is the employment? This is the most important contribution of MSME. Nearly 12 crore people in India are employed in MSME sector. And in Kerala, 44 lakhs, nearly 45 lakhs. Let us see, what is the percentage of population? 8.7% of population is employed in MSME. And in Kerala, 13% of population. Another important thing, now you will understand the importance. In Kerala, you know, among the workforce, 40% are working for MSME only. The remaining only 60% comes for the agriculture and Gulf, our government employees. You see, got a big chunk. 40% of Kerala people are working for MSME. And on India level, it is 30%. So for Kerala, the MSME is a lifeline, I would say. Now, let me go very fast to the financial packages under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. It means, you know, self-reliant India. Our Honorable Prime Minister would like to make our India self-reliant through the networks of MSME, because MSME reaches each and every angle, each and every corner of India. It is the soul of India for the livelihoods. So, in order to make it self-reliant, if we can make MSME sector self-reliant, India would definitely will be self-reliant. So, let's see what are the packages. So, under this scheme, Prime Minister has declared through Finance Minister, and there are many under many ministries. Even for some are under Ministry of Food Processing, some are under Ministry of Food Micro MSME Ministry, and different ministries this falls. So I have summed up those which are relevant for MSME sector. Let us see what are these one by one. The most important one among this is, I am highlighting only financial packages. This is called a Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. I think by this time, every MSME sector must have got offer from the bank. No need to request. This financial extension, this financial package, what is it called? It is actually, there is a total fund of 3 lakhs crore. Government of India has dedicated 3 lakhs crore at a very low cost of interest. And what are the specialities of this? The eligibility for this scheme is MSME need not be registered MSME as of this, as I told, that formal registration. No need of registration, but it should come under the definition. It can be any business enterprise. It should be a borrower. existing MSME or business enterprises who is a borrower. He must be a borrower, he must be existing. With an annual turnover first declared 100 crore, but now it has been enhanced up to 250 crore. Every MSME has been included. Now our finance minister, our MSME minister, honorable minister has extended that up to 250 crore. And it's only for 1920, the turnover must be less up to 250 crore. They are eligible. It must be existing borrower below 250 crore turnover. And of course, not classified as, it's very important, as SMA2 as NPA. I'll tell you what is SMA2 because it is a default related. SMA means special mention account. Suppose you are already a borrower, you have taken money and you are a defaulter for 30 days. There's no problem. But if you are defaulter from 31 days onwards, the banker will just make a round. They will mark it as SMA1, special mentioned account 1. No problem for this till 60 days. But if it crosses 60 days, they will mark another thing SMA2, special mentioned account 2. That is called a stressed, 2 times default, 2 months default. It is called a stressed in bankers' language. And if it crosses 90 days, it is called NPA, non-performing asset. So for this purpose, MSME should be existing. It should be a borrower. Turnover should be maximum up to 250, and it should not be classified as SMA2 or NPA. It can be SMA1 up to 60 days default. I think it is very clear to you. Now, another eligibility is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Mudra loan is very common, very known to all this MSME sector. They are also covered, but they should be already in the portal as on 29 February. They should be registered in the portal. Mudra people are also eligible, but who is not eligible is individual buyers, individual borrowers, personal loan. They are not eligible. Only on the enterprise borrowers are only eligible. Credit amount. Next question: how much amount they can get? 20% of outstanding loan till 29th of February 2020. In 2020, this recently 2020, 29th of February 2020, what is the total outstanding loan? Of which 20% will be available as a emergency credit guaranteed loan. What is the maximum amount? Maximum amount, it was only 5 crore, now it has been enhanced to 10 crore. And this is for what? It can be for working capital or term loan. It can be used for working as a working capital or a term loan. How to get? So very simple, I tell you. An offer will go out from the MLI. MLI means banks, money lending institutions. Almost all banks, financial institutions, NBFC, non-financial banking companies are coming under this net. They will send an offer, or already people must have got these offers to eligible borrowers for a pre-approved loan. It's a pre-approved loan. You need not to even give an application. It will come to you, which only the borrower may choose to accept. If you want to accept, otherwise you reject. You need not to go to bank, you need not to do anything. So up to 20% of the outstanding loan is available. So what are the other features? Now it is 100% guarantee Government of India is giving. You need not to give any guarantee. So guarantee for principal as well as interest, both, and no collateral security. So the principal security, what you purchase for this amount, that only will be security. Nothing extra, no additional security, and this is pre-approved already, I said. And what is the loan tenure? This is very important. This 20% you will have to pay back within 4 years. There's a moratorium period of 12 months. So the principal amount as well as interest has to be repaid back within 4 years. Another most important interesting thing is the interest rate is capped. The maximum interest what can go is 9.25% per annum for banks and financial institutions. And for non-banking financial company, it can be up to 14%. But many banks have offered even at the rate of 7.25%, not even 9.2. And there is another facility along with that you can avail, that is the interest subvention scheme also available for the scheme. Government of India already giving 2% subvention, extra loan, additional loan, new incremental loans. It was available till 31st March and it is extended for Mudra loan, small loan, and it is likely to be extended. I think Minister already said it will be extended. I think that order may be coming. So this interest subvention can also be clubbed with this. No guarantee fee. Normally, this guarantee, collateral security, Government of India guaranteed fund. We have to, the borrower has to give a guarantee fee, but there's no guarantee fee here. Scheme period is not 23rd May 23rd May 2020 to 31st October 2020 or till the fund lasts, 3 lakhs crore last. GST registration is must. The unit must be GST registered. But wherever applicable, there are certain cases it is exempted, they are exempted. Udyam registration, it is not a must. Or the new registration, Udyam registration or old type of registration, that is not a must. Now what we have seen the first package. Now I am going to tell you another package. This is applicable for SMA2 and NBA. So already we declared, announced, discussed one package up to SMA1. Now this is for SMA2, above 60 days default or declared as NPA. This is called subordinate debt for stressed MSMEs. The scheme is called Credit Guarantee Scheme for Subordinate Debt. This is also called a Credit Guarantee Scheme. And the name called a Subordinate Debt. And it is applicable for SMA already default or NBA. Why it is called a subordinate debt? It is a second type of debt. Already they have a debt. Primary debt is there. It is running and for which they have become default or NBA already there. But now they are NBA. So the government wanted to save it. So giving another debt. Another that is called a subordinate debt. Why this is given? Because the industry has to survive, it has to make up. So the conditions are there. There are some conditions that is very important. You have to see the conditions. The loan is having eligible for guarantee cover. Credit will be provided by banks, financial institutions equal to 15% of equity plus debt. Already they are a borrower. They have their own equity, their own promoters' contribution. Maybe 10-15%, and they have taken a loan. Both this together, 15%, maximum 75 lakhs. Whichever is lower will be provided. And equity that will be calculated. What is the equity will be calculated based on the last available audited balance sheet of last balance sheet. So this is how the equity will be calculated. Total amount available is 15% of the equity plus debt. Next. This is very important. Though government has declared subordinate debt for the stressed one, the conditions are there. First condition is that unit should have been standard account without any default as on 31st March 2018. 2018 as on 2018 March 31st, it should have been a standard account, not default. Then 2018-19 and 19-20 up to March 31st, it should be operational. It can be NBA or standard, no problem, but must be operational. So it must be operational. Should have been standard as on 31st March 2018. And then it should be stressed, declared stressed. As on
Sir, you got muted. Sir,
Is it okay? Am I
yeah.
audible, sir?
Now okay, now okay.
Okay. So that should have been, so these conditions are very important. Should have been stressed as on April 30th, should have been stressed. So after that, say this reason April, say for example April, May 1st it has been declared stressed, they are not eligible. Should be stressed before 30th April. And the fourth one is very important. The lender, they will have to study your case. And they should say your business, your venture, it is commercially viable. Suppose that commercially it is not viable, they are giving another debt also, that will be lost. The amount will be lost, money will be lost. This is very important. Only those business, only those MSME activities commercially viable, that will be decided by the lender. So this is the most important criteria. I think I am not able to proceed. Okay. And what is the repayment? Maximum allowed. So here the repayment is very important. The period is very important because there are two loans. So they have given a repayment period of 10 years, a long period of 10 years. 10 years the repayment period allowed, generally allowed. Or depending on lender and the borrower, it can be within 10 years, no problem. There is a maximum moratorium of 7 years. Why, you know? They already having a first loan. That first loan with interest they should pay within 7 years, along with the interest of the second loan. That's why 7 years moratorium period is given. The remaining 3 years, within that 10 years, the second loan with interest has to be paid. So this 10 years is a very tight period. Within this period, if they can repay and both principal and interest and save the unit, they only will be declared as a. Now I was seeing the moratorium period maximum is 7 years and total period is 10 years. Now let's see another why I'm bringing Kerala, Government of Kerala scheme, because it is in connection with this scheme only. You know, we have declared some interest, but this Government of Kerala under Vyavasaya Bharat Bhadrata recently introduced. Under this scheme, they are giving a 2% interest subvention. There are some conditions. You can see the conditions, but you remember the word Vyavasaya Bhadrata interest subvention scheme announced by Government of Kerala. Now, so with this two schemes, two important financial schemes. One is emergency credit guarantee, other is debt, subordinate debt. These two we have seen. Now let us see under this Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme, Ministry of MSME, through Ministry of MSME, some schemes have been brought out. The most important one is formalization of micro food enterprises. It's known as PM-FME scheme. And the next one is Operation Greens. It's for fruits and vegetables related to transportation and storage. Let's see one by one. See, the formalization, the word itself indicates, you know, in India, of course, not much relevant to Kerala. In India, there are lakhs of MSME units. Say 75 lakhs, telling some statistics. They are working, they are making profits, they are giving employment, they are doing a lot of activities, people are making livelihoods, but it's not known to the government. It's not formal, it's not having registration, it's not having a license required, they're not aware, maybe aware or not aware, we don't know. But Government of India would like to bring all of them into the formal sector by giving a package of finance for upgradation. So for example, they're functioning certain kind of technology, maybe not sophisticated. They can go for higher technology, higher productivity. It's called upgradation. They will be given some finance. Along with that, they will be made formal with the registration, license, and they will become a part of the development, non-developmental body of India. So this is what the idea of formalization of micro food processors. It's only with regard to micro food processors. So under this, there's a term everyone has to learn. This is called ADOPE. ADOPE means one district, one product. See, you know, in Kerala itself, if you see Palakkad, it's famous for mangoes. Of course, there are so many other things also. And for Ernakulam, Ernakulam district where we have pineapple, and towards northern Kerala we have so much of ginger, or some place tapioca, some place, certain place, you know, ilachi. Certain agriculture producers are famous in certain districts, and that product has to be that particular product as well as its subsidiaries, value-added other products, should be made a big industry like through micro food processors. This is the idea behind ADOPE. So ADOPE is the background of this formalization of micro food processors. And again, they are telling, say, not only ADOPE, that will be given preference. Certain districts, you know, see, there may be 1 or 2 products. Of course, the majority, the major one will be as an ADOPE, and others will also be promoted. But the preference will be ADOPE, one district, one product. From Thrissur itself, our one district level committee has been formed already, and they have suggested pineapple, coconut, and rice as one product from the district of Thrissur. Other districts also will be sending such options, preferred product. So this is the background. So the scheme will adopt one district, one product approach. Let's see, it is a centrally sponsored scheme with an outlay of 10,000 crore. It's only subsidies and grant they are giving Government of India. And scheme period is 5 years, 2020-21 to 24-25. Expenditure share is there. It's in partnership with the state government. Center for Kerala state it is 60 and state it is 40, and certain states like northeastern states, hilly area 90 ton only, and UT fully looked after percent is 100%. Anyway, and in this sharing, first year, that is 2021, Government of India is spending 100%. And the coming years, this share they will be taken from the coming 4 years from the state. That share will be taken. And who are the beneficiaries? Micro food enterprises, individual units, farmers, producers organization, and cooperatives, self-help group. Now, let's see one by one. So, the first one, let's say, support to individual micro enterprises. There is micro enterprises are given subsidy at 35% of percentage. This is a maximum subsidy of any government or under any scheme. And eligible project with a ceiling of 10 lakhs. This 10 lakhs is not the project cost, it is a subsidy limit. Maximum subsidy offered is 10 lakhs. And or 35%, whichever is less of the project cost for upgradation. And beneficiary contribution should be there 10% minimum and balance through loan only. And eligibility, existing MFE, micro food enterprises, preferably ADOPE, one district, one product, that is preference. There must be existing, there must be micro. So it is operational for last 3 years and minimum 5 years, the 5 lakhs turnover. It's a very small amount. 5 lakhs turnover means some 45,000 per month, something like that. So one member from a family, the entrepreneur must be above 18 years and minimum 8 standard. So these are the conditions. Let's go. Next one, I'll go a little faster. Support to group. Individual we have seen, that is group means farmers, producers organization, producer cooperatives. Credit grantor. This is, I'm sorry. So this is grant. Earlier, individual case, we have seen what subsidy. This is grant. 35% only along with the entire value chain process. You know, in every district, one product they identify, its value-added products, subsidy products, so many products. Say, for example, rice products, mango products, jackfruit products, pineapple products, plenty of products can come out. Not only like a cluster. So in every value addition, every entire value addition process, this grant is available. Every time when they go ahead or when they go up for upgradation in the value chain process, this 35% is available. And what is another one? Training support is extended. Eligibility, preferably in ODOP. This group should be in ODOP, maybe preferably. Minimum turnover is ₹1 crore. They are already operational. And proposal, new proposal amount should be less than this present turnover, less than 1 crore. Experience of 3 years and 10% contribution. Next. Next is self-help group. There are two types. One is individual self-help group. You know, they are given seed capital of 40,000 per group member as a loan. Actually, government is giving as a grant to their federation, and federation will give in turn as a loan of 40,000 per member. And what is the eligibility? Only SHG member presently engaged in food processing. They have to be in food processing. No need of ODOP. They must be in food processing. They must be engaged in food processing. And another thing, another help is a grant of at 35%. The same people will be given a grant, maximum ceiling of 10 lakhs. Eligibility, self-help group member has to meet 10% of project cost and 20% of margin money for working capital, or this 20% maybe they have to get the sanction from state government also. So 10% is percentage from their side, 20% from the state government or their own contribution. Now SHGS Federation also support is given. Credit linked grant. So they are all given grant as capital investment and also given training and holding support for DPR preparations, you know, technical upgradation. So much of and holding support is also extended under the scheme. Now let's see whom to approach. It's a very popular scheme which has come into effect now some few months back only. It appeared, declared. Now every state has to declare a nodal department. In Kerala it's already declared, it is Department of Industries and Commerce, and the nodal officer is Executive Director of KSIDC, and nodal agency is there under Department of Industries, KBIP, Kerala Bureau of Investment and Promotion. They are the nodal agency, and implemented by at district level by district level committee chaired by district collector, and of course district industry center is the point of contact in every district. And this you can see detailed operational guidelines by visiting this site mofpi.nic.in. So with this I'll go a little faster. And the second one of Ministry of MSME is called Operation Greens. You know, this is called TOP. Actually, this was already in operation in North Indian states. This is something like this. During this time, there are some places surplus production happens. Say, for example, our place itself, pineapple goes up surplus. We don't have value. We cannot get. Farmers will not get required minimum price. So what is that? Then another place called a deficient place. So what is the difference between these two? Only the transportation and storage. So these are the extra cost comes. The government is offering 50% subsidy for transportation and storage from surplus point to deficient point. So this will automatically give support price to farmers, as well as that will protect the consumers. It will not go beyond certain limit also. So this is the Operation Greens, a scheme originally introduced for tomato, onion and potato. That's called TOP. Now it is extended to almost all types of vegetables. Budgetary allocation 500 crores. Objective is to protect fruits and vegetable growers from making business sale. There should not be any distress sale due to lockdown or reduce the post-harvest losses. Eligible crops: mango, banana, guava, kiwi, lychee, papaya, citrus, pineapple, pomegranate, and jackfruit. Vegetable: French beans, bitter gourd, brinjal, capsicum, carrot, cauliflower, chilies, or green chilies, okra, onion, potato, and tomato. And another happy news: this will be extended to almost all vegetables. This is only a pilot scale, only for 6 months. From 11/6/2020, 6 months. It's only a pilot scale. How it will work, they will see. The next day, the scheme will be extended to all fruits and vegetables. The scheme provides 50% subsidy. Please note, subsidy on transportation from surplus production to deficient market, and 50% subsidy on storage, including cold storage, very soft, cold, sophisticated, salt is also given subsidy. So this you have to apply online. Please visit mofpi.nic.in. It's a very good scheme for the farmers. Another important scheme is called the Farm Gate Infrastructure. It is related to infrastructure. We have agricultural land in India. 60% of people are working. We produce a lot of agricultural commodity, but in infrastructure for processing, post-harvest technology, we are lagging behind compared to other developed nations. So our developing gap is this infrastructure. So government is providing, with this scheme, they are providing farm gate infrastructure. So wherever farm, wherever the production happens, just in front of the gate, very close by infrastructure, they are providing through this scheme. The announced fund is 1 lakh crore. The beneficiary is primary agriculture cooperatives, PACS, farmers, producers, organization, FPOs, agriculture entrepreneurs, as well as startups. They are the beneficiaries. This is a 10-year, very long duration period, 2021 to 2030. And what is the budgetary allocation? There is also interest subvention cost is met at 3% per annum, up to rupees 2 crore. This will be available for 7 years. Interest subvention is given at 3% rate for 7 years for this particular project. I will detail below. Then credit guarantee cost. I think the government is giving credit guarantee protection, but there is a guarantee fee also. I think that is the fee, credit guarantee cost, that will be met. So there is a credit guarantee scheme under MSME called CGT MSC. So this credit guarantee cost, an extra guarantee fee, that will be met. Then eligible projects, some projects only will be eligible. Post-harvest management project like supply chain service, including, this is for modernization, modern marketing, and modern type of infrastructure, e-marketing platforms. So for such things, warehouses, silos, pack house, selling units, sorting, grading, cold chains, logistics facility, primary processing centers, ripening chambers. Next one is viable project for building community farming. Assets include organic inputs production. They're all going organic everywhere. Biostimulant production unit. There are some stimulants, biostimulants. Infrastructure for smart and precision agriculture. Projects promoted by central, state, local government. Of course, they take up the projects of state government also under the scheme, and their agencies also, that also will be taken care of under public, private, public. PPP for building community farming, public-private partnership. Who are the eligible beneficiaries? PACs, primary agricultural credits, marketing cooperatives, farmer producer POs, SHGs, farmers, joint liability groups, multi-purpose cooperatives, agri entrepreneurs, startups, center state agency, local body sponsored PPP projects. Nodal agencies, NABARD. NABARD is a nodal agency. So participating other lending, money lending institution will make MOU with the NABARD and they will be participating in the scheme. Participating institutions like all scheduled commercial banks, scheduled cooperative banks also, regional rural banks, small finance banks, non-banking financial companies and National Cooperative Development Consortium. So these are the schemes I explained. Now there are other announcements, I will just name it. It is mainly MSME activity is not coming in this category. You can read it. It is for the fishermen. Prime Minister Matsya Sampada Yojana for your information. And next one is animal husbandry infrastructure development. Still another one is infrastructure for beekeeping. Beekeeping is not declared as a MSME activity. Again, another important announcement, I tell you, legal framework government is going to do to fix. The farmers can fix their own price for the products. You know, if you produce a product and as an entrepreneur, you can fix the price depending based on the market. But if a farmer produces a vegetable or a fruit, they cannot fix it. It is the middleman or the demand of the market. Now this legal framework will give the right to the farmers to fix their own price for the product. So happy news. And this is already in the Ministry of Food Processing site. Prime Minister Kisan Sampada Yojana. It's a very popular scheme. That's why I have just mentioned it. In this, you know, the third one you see mega food parks, integrated cold chain. Third one is applicable for the individual. Creation and expansion of food processing and preservation capacity building. So for this purpose, Government of India, Ministry of Food Processing giving 35% subsidy. But this is not rolled out every time. Recently it was rolled out till 31st of May. Now again we have to visit the site and see when it will be rolled out next time. It's a beautiful project. You can visit the site and apply online. It's very, very easy to apply and very friendly, and you can get subsidy up to 35%. And Ministry of Food Processing under the scheme they are doing mega food parks. In Kerala also we have 5 food parks, integrated cold chain infrastructure, all these activities also, even including laboratory also, food safety quality assurance laboratory. So funding schemes, so of course I have explained the many schemes of the Ministry of Food Processing as well as other ministries. Now let's come to our own ministry, Ministry of Micro MSME Ministry. PMEGP, PM is very popular one, but still I have to tell this. It is total project cost allowed is 25 lakhs, but now it is likely to extend up to 1 crore, I hope, but that's not done. So this is a subsidy. It is with the subsidy, you know, it is a Gandhian type of activities. Like we do like, you know, Khadi board, Khadi type of activities in which non-vegetarian or alcoholic or tobacco related products cannot be done. It is for only new entrepreneurs to start up with. So a subsidy of minimum 15% and maximum 35%. This is the subsidy range. In urban area, subsidy minimum 15%, a maximum for maximum 25% for special like special including SC, ST, OBC minorities. They will get 10% extra. Otherwise, urban it is 15% for general, and rural minimum 25%, and for special category 35%. And you have to apply, this is done through Khadi board. In every district you have a KVIB. For rural area, KVIB is done. For urban area, district industry center is done. And for both the place, KVIC also done in percentage wise. And now see, this is Mudra. It's very famous, popular, even the interior, the most remotest interior also knows this scheme. There are 3 schemes in which, you know, in this scheme, 3 schemes are there. One is 50,000, very small, micro level. They are not formal, they don't have registration, even household type. Now, Kerala government is allowing nano type of unit to operate from their houses. So those people can avail 50,000 rupees, for which interest subvention of 2% is there only from Government of India. It is still there. So very low interest, very low project, small operation people can do it. That is called Shishu. The next one is Kishore, up to 5 lakhs rupees. Then beyond that it is 10 lakhs. 5 to 10 is called Tarun. So these are the 3 categories under Mudra loan. You can directly approach the bank, any commercial bank, even private bank, no problem. There's a special application available in the bank itself, so that you can directly approach the bank. It will Shishu will get 2% of interest subvention already I mentioned. Now, okay? This is the important scheme of Ministry of MSME. So we are all dealing with a small project. Now this is a very big project up to 2 crores. We have seen some collateral-free guarantee schemes under emergency credit line, subordinate debt. All these are guaranteed only. That is much more 100% guarantee. But this is a collateral-free credit guarantee trust fund for MSC. It is in place since long time, since many years, for up to 200 crore fund. Every commercial bank, every bank, so many, even RRB, rural banks, they also come as a money lending institution. They can give up to 200 crore with a 75% guarantee coverage from Government of India. And for the remaining 25%, the entrepreneur has to give collateral security. No collateral security up to 75% of their loan. Beyond anything beyond 75%, they have to give collateral security. So up to 75%, the government is giving counter guarantee. But here you have to give a guarantee fee. The earlier case there was no fee, guarantee fee, but now here the guarantee fee should be given. So this can be availed, but there is some restriction. Education institution, training institution, self-help group are not eligible under the scheme. And for more details, you can visit the site CGT MSC. This is regarding interest subvention scheme I was telling earlier. It was up to from any entrepreneur who has availed or renewed extension of loan from 2nd November 2018 till 31st March 2020. This was there. But beyond which it is likely to be extended, Minister already assured through the media we are hearing. Otherwise also there are so many subvention schemes are there. This also we hope will be extended shortly. Next. Non-eligible groups are there. Suppose you avail this subvention for some other reason, you are not eligible. Say for example, export. Some people it is available, they are not eligible. This is what next. Other initiative, I'll just go very quickly. Public procurement policy of Ministry of MSME. You know, government is a very big purchaser, there is a buyer. Government of India, Department of Departments, and PSUs, central PSUs. So for which there is a policy Government of India has made, Public Procurement Policy 2012, in which it says 20% of government purchase or central public sector like shipyard, port trust, and any public sector undertaking of the central government, they have to ensure that 20% purchase from MSME sector only, and they are accountable for that. And I'm sorry, earlier it was 20% by 2012 Act, now it is revised, it is 25%. There was an amendment in 2018. Now 25% has to be purchased from the MSME sector only, and in which there is a subdivision. 4% must be out of 25, 4% must be procured from SC/ST owned entrepreneurs, and 3% must be from women entrepreneurs. So very big opportunity for women entrepreneurs as well as CST entrepreneurs. Many crores of rupees budget is PSUs are keeping for such a purchase. So they will look for 25% as a whole, and they have to look for SC/ST entrepreneurs as well as for women entrepreneurs for any purchase for railway or any public sector undertaking. It's a very big opportunity for the entrepreneur, small entrepreneurs to avail, and this is only applicable for micro and small, not for medium. The condition is they must be registered with Udyog Aadhar, nowadays Udyam registration, and it must be micro and small, and it is the tender form will be available free of cost. They will be exempted from payment of earnest money, and adopting procurement. There will be transparency. There will be transparency in how they decide, and as well as there is a 15% of price preference. It is everyone can understand. This is with regard to a large scale bidder also there, and a small scale bidder also there, and the preference should be given to the small scale also within a price preference of 15%. So these are the benefits. Around 358 items reserved for purchase only for MSME sector. Now there's I have explained so many things, and I have explained a lot of different registration, classification. You may have doubts while doing it. All these doubts, you can put in the Champions portal. So this is a feedback for the government also. What are the problems the public is facing, entrepreneur is facing, and through which you will be getting very answer immediately. So please use this portal as a grievance portal to post. And this is our address at Thrissur, MSME Development Institute, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, Kalyani Road, Ayandol, Thrissur, and our email ID is the dcdi-thrissur@dcmsme.gov.in. State Champions Control Room number is there, 0487293300, and the website is given. Now that's all. Thank you very much for the patience to listen. Now you can over to Dr. Muralidharan sir.
Thank you, sir. It was a very elaborative but very informative talk. From the number of participants, I understand that there is a lot of demand. There are people that they want to know more about this MSMEs and government schemes, and we are fortunate to have planned this program at this right moment. Now, if Mr. Kannan is available, I would like to get his remarks. He is actually might have gone for a meeting otherwise. Kannan sir, are you available?
Yes, sir. I'm available, sir.
Please, sir. Please, quickly you make your point, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, I'm thanking our CPCRA's Murli sir and our Martin Chaco, Assistant Director. He has told very elaborately about even whatever I wanted to cover. Many of the points sir covered very detailedly. Here, as per the banking, we will inform about some 2-3 points our majorly, because sir detailedly covered about what are the schemes were there, funding schemes were there, and what are the subsidies were available, and what are the interest subventions are available. Everything is, he elaborately has told. I will inform only the some 2-3 points. Here, while financing the any project from a small to a big project, whatever the things, basically because the coconut this one processing units involve so many items from the all type of the product, from kaya pit, from kaya or oil extraction or virgin coconut oil or the neera or whatever the coconut shell powder. There are so many things where we can make the end product from the coconut, and out of that almost all the thing will be covered by the any type of the MSME schemes. This one with the subsidies also available, as our Chaco sir informed. Many schemes will be covered under this one Government of India scheme and the state government scheme. The particularly in case of the this one processing unit and whatever the cap capital investment, everything it will come under that state government ESS scheme. Up to that one, there 30 lakh subsidy also available. That one out of the total financial capital investment, it will be available. And other than that, there are the as now recently he has informed that agriculture infrastructure fund also, there are the so many providing assistance for the there are so many schemes like this transportation and primary processing unit. There also we can make whatever this end product out of this one, like Neera or oil or virgin coconut oil or the shell powder. These things also, this activity also will be covered. Here, the project, as a bank, they will expect about the project should be technically, financially and economically viable. Technically, you will get a maximum guidance from your own and your own experience and from our CPCRA also. And economically, here we have to be so much cost is that the raw product availability should be, we have to ensure, and the marketing potential also we have to ensure. And financially, if the product is viable and it can be fetch a good income to our either farmer or entrepreneur who are the this one, they can with that available fund, they can able to repay their loan amount without any difficulty. It can be easily done. Now, as our Chako sir mentioned, many of the now MSME, they will get it that at a competitive rate of almost a maximum. It's ending in the public sector bank. It's come to a maximum of 9.25, as he has told. Many of the bank is be less than from it starting from 6.9 to up to 9% it's there. And again, in case of your credit rating is good, you will get a finer rating also. You will get some advantage in the finer rating. So the credit rating, that one is purely based on our that entrepreneurs, his past attitude. Whatever the things in the civil, there are the 3-4 agencies were there. From there, they will take the credit report. And margin, also it will be some variable from 5 to 10%, in some cases 25% also. But if it is any supported by the any government sponsor scheme, it will be some between 5 to 10% only. And based on this one, usually the banks, they will verify your detailed project report, they will verify, and based on that only you will get your loan portion. Here, if we keep our this one, our regularly, if we keep our existing unit, everything functional and everything, this one, a new project also, if we keep a continuous flow of credit, it can be available.
Sorry for the interruption. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, sorry for the interruption. Sir, I could not see the PPT.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I could not see the PPT.
PPT, sir, PPT we did not prepare, sir.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
PPT not available, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
So here that PMEGP, the schemes, this one there they will get that subsidy portion of some 5 to 15 to 35%. As already informed, it was some. It will be some based on the urban and rural and the general and special category. For it will be available up to that level. For the general category, it will be some 15 to 25%, and for the special category, it will be from 25 to 35%. They can able to get. Here, once again, whatever the thing now, everything we can enter in the Stand Up India portal itself, whatever the eligible proposal or whatever the things, directly you need not to visit any bank also in person. Directly you can enter, and moreover that many of the credit this one collateral guarantee is available up to 2 crore. So here the new unit, whatever the new unit, a small to maximum a big size unit, up to 10 lakh it will come under Mudra, and it will be supported with the interest subvention also. Earlier it was not there, and 14.5 onwards it was a interest subvention also available for the Mudra loans also. And here in the nano unit, it's available in the state government project with the electricity capacity of less than 5 hours per. All the things it will be eligible, and there also you can get the general category, you will get a 6% interest subvention, and the special category will be 8%. These are the advantages are there. So from a small unit to big size unit, all the things we can be able to get it. That is the thing, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Kannan sir. I think I will briefly mention our services to entrepreneurs.
Yes, sir.
So, CPCRI is basically a technology generating institute. So most of you may be interested mainly food technologies. So we have virgin coconut oil, coconut chips. Then we have the Kalparasa, the unfermented coconut sap. That is non-alcoholic Nira production. And then again converting it to sugar. Then other related activities. So for example, we have a vegan ice cream. So that there is no animal protein or animal fat in it, purely from the coconut. So like that, we have many food technologies. Then we have inputs. For example, carpet composting. There are many ways. Ours is a urea-free composting. We call it as a Kalpa soil care. Then we have Kalpa organic gold, the vermicomposting of coconut leaves. Then there are biofertilizers and bioinoculants. So there are many technologies available with this our institute. Also, we have a network of ICR institutes. So, for example, we have with us Dr. Shiva from NRC Banana. Like that, they have their own technologies. So, all these technologies can be grouped as either seed ventures, that is production of planting material, or something like inputs, bioinoculant or biofertilizer, etc. Or it can be food processing side or manufacturing machines. So I may mention here that after tomorrow, Saturday, we have the Kalpa Green Check program. There we are bringing 4 or 5 machine manufacturers who has licensed our machineries. So all the entrepreneurs can interact with them. Not only our machineries, what we designed at CPCRI, other machineries for their enterprises. For example, mill, pulverizer or anything. So detailed, you can have a detailed interaction with the machine manufacturers on next Saturday, that is 8th August. So I welcome all the participants to join us this next Saturday also. So we'll be talking more on technologies in later stage. Now today our main focus was on what are the MSME support. And especially under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, what are the schemes launched by our central government? So you all got a very good information, and we will be hosting this series in our website and YouTube. So at leisure you can download and again see. And whenever there is a clarity requirement, you can either interact with us or Mr. Martin P. Chacko sir or whoever nearby. So all of us will be ready to help you, or together we will be bringing our nation to a very high, that is $5 trillion economy. That is our ambition. So we all will work for that. With this, now I thank all the resource persons. And then before we conclude, we'll have an interaction session. So